Alright guys, so Huawei is back with a brand new smartwatch and it's called the Huawei GT5 series. It comes in the GT5 as well as the GT5 Pro, and there are versions for the guys as well as the ladies. Now the Huawei Watch GT5 series is said to be the most versatile and premium as well as fashion focused smartwatch. So in today's video we're going to find out all about that, talk a bit about the design, the health and the fitness, and of course the battery life and everything that you can do with it. So let's begin the video right away. Now first things first, in terms of design, I actually got my GT5 Pro sitting on my wrist. The brand new design is actually very interesting because it now comes in this sort of like octagon kind of shape, which is very similar to those more expensive luxury watches. I like it very much. Now if you look further closely on my wrist, you might notice that I'm wearing the titanium strap version, and what's really cool about this strap is Huawei's implementation of how you actually remove each individual clasp so it can actually fit on your wrist. Now another thing about the design you might notice here is that we do have a built-in mic and speaker, so if you're going to be doing your Bluetooth calls, you can do that directly from your watch. And of course, if you are wondering if it has NFC, yes it does, so you can use it to unlock your your SS cards, your doors. So that's in terms of the brief design. Overall, fantastic looking devices. Now in terms of the build materials, this is supposed to be even more durable before, but what are we actually looking at here is the TC4 titanium alloy. Now this material here is supposed to be 2 times even more resistant towards wear and scratches, so if you just bump your watch very often, you don't need to worry about it getting damaged. In terms of the IP rating, it does come with the IP69K standard, and this basically means that it's not only resistant towards water, which is so common, but it's also resistant towards heat, it's resistant towards diving as well as corrosion. Yeah, you heard that right. The watch now supports diving of up to 40 meters. So overall, just in terms of design and build, you're going to be getting a very solid premium smartwatch here on the GT5 series. Now let's talk a little bit about the Watchfaces since we are talking about design. Now the Watchfaces is actually a very interesting one because if you just go into the Huawei Health app and you just keep scrolling, you notice that there's no bottom towards the end of the Watchfaces. It just goes on and on and on and on. But what I really like about it is that some of them are actually customizable and you can actually put your favorite apps on the home screen itself, so you can just have one click and enter the app right away. Very, very easy to use. So yeah, that's in terms of the Watchfaces. Now let's talk a little bit more about the more serious stuff and dive a bit deeper into the health and fitness section. So let's start off with the health. Now for health, you have your basic all-day heart rate tracking, your SpO2, your stress, your sleeps, and just a note on sleep tracking. It actually tracks your breathing patterns when you are sleeping, and this actually helps you to identify if you have any upcoming potential issues. Now all this health tracking is actually powered by TruSense, which actually does a very good job at making your data tracking even more accurate and even more efficient. So take for example, if you are a runner, most of the times when you're running, you might notice that your watch is moving a lot on your wrist. So with TruSense, you can actually improve the reading of your heart rate during your runs. Now in terms of SpO2s, it's also even quicker than before. On previous smartwatches, it takes like up to 60 seconds to actually detect your SpO2. But for the Watch GT5 series, it's like the countdown only starts from 30 seconds and it usually ends before the countdown even finishes. Now one more new feature that the watch can now track is your emotional well-being, and throughout the entire day, it will actually monitor and analyze how you are feeling, your emotional condition, and over a period of time, you will actually be able to see your patterns during the day. Like, are you unhappy during the day? Are you feeling sad during the night? And the watch itself will suggest you a couple of lifestyle changes or maybe a couple of breathing exercises just to keep you a bit, feeling a bit better. Now finally, you can also track your ECG directly on the watch itself by just putting a finger on it for a couple of seconds, and this basically tells you your heart rate patterns, whether it's beating too fast or too slow, and then you can actually use this to converse with your medical advisor. Now having said that, the watch itself is not an actual medical device. If you do have any underlying conditions, my suggestion for you is to always check in with your own doctor. Alright, so that's just in terms of the health section. Now let's look at the fitness section. What do we have here? Well, basically the watch itself is able to track more than 100 different activities. You can see them not just on the watch itself, but also pick up all kinds of training courses and plans from the app, which is very extensive. In terms of the GPS, yes, we do have GPS tracking, but right now it's actually powered by Huawei's own Sunflower positioning system, and that actually helps to improve accuracy. Now if you are a runner, you're going to like this new feature. It's actually called Route Draw, where you can actually download and load up offline maps onto the watch itself, so the watch can actually guide you through multiple checkpoints before you eventually reach the final point. Nice! Now before we go, another really cool new feature is actually all about golf course mode. Now for this, it's actually very interesting because you can actually download all kinds of golf course maps from all around the world directly into the watch, and then track your performance while also understanding a bit more on the greens and obstacle distance, the wind speed and direction, and more information that's actually related to the course in order to improve your swing. So yeah, very, very extensive in terms of your fitness tracking. Alright, in case you are thinking about monitoring your partner's or your family members' health and all that, you can also add them in the app itself, just so you guys are aware of each other's health conditions. Now finally, before we go, the battery life itself is actually rated at up to 14 days, and this is actually very long because some watches only do 2 or 3 days, so you don't really have to charge it very often, but when you do, it actually does 0 to 100% in 60 minutes, so it's also fairly quick. So there you have it. That's a very quick look at the Huawei GT5 series in a nutshell. Overall, the watch itself is even better than before. It's one of the best looking premium smartwatches that you can get today as well, and not only does it look premium, but it's actually made of really tough materials. Of course, it's not just about the looks as well as the materials, but the health and tracking has also been improved with that new TruSense technology. Anyways, if you want to get yourself one, do check out the links down below. All you need to do is put in a 60 ringgit deposit, and that actually makes you eligible to get more than 500 ringgit of freebies. But yeah, whether you want to buy or not, check out the links below. If you have any further questions or if there is something that you want me to test out, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and bye bye.